Namaste, Suswagatam, and welcome to our Sunday edition of Gyan Ganga Words of Wisdom on our Virat Hindustan Sangam social media channels. Today, we have a very interesting episode. We are going to discuss DMK and the national languages, and in the next few minutes, we will also be displaying what we have been projecting as the untold heroes of our freedom struggle and our history. And today's program or today's highlight is Kerala Varma Pashashi Raja. So we will be showing you the unsung heroes of India, and we'll have a audio video on him.
Kerala Varma Pajasi Raja, born in 1753, was a valiant ruler from the Kottayam kingdom in North Malabar. Renowned as the Lion of Kerala, he fiercely resisted both Mysorean invaders and later British colonial forces. During Hyder Ali's invasion in 1773, while many fled, Pajasi Raja chose to stay and defend his homeland. He led guerrilla warfare against Mysore's army, reclaiming territories and asserting his leadership. In 1792, after the Third Anglo-Mysore War, the British imposed heavy taxes on Malabar, disrupting traditional systems. Pajasi Raja opposed these measures, leading to the Kotiot War, 1793-1805, one of the longest resistance movements against British rule. Utilizing the dense forests of Wayanad, he orchestrated effective guerrilla tactics, inflicting significant losses on British forces. His army, comprising local tribes like the Kurichiyas, showcased unparalleled bravery and resilience. Despite multiple British campaigns, Pajasi Raja remained undefeated for years. However, in 1805, betrayed by informants, he was surrounded. Choosing honor over surrender, he met a martyr's death on November 30, 1805. Pajasi Raja's legacy is a testament to unwavering courage and patriotism. His life inspires generations, reminding us of the relentless pursuit of freedom against formidable adversaries.
We pay tributes to Pajasi Raja of Kerala. With these words, we'll now move on to Dr. SUBRAMANIAN SWAMY for initiating today's discussion on DMK and the national languages. It's over to Dr. Swamy.
Thank you, Jagdish. This is not a new topic, but it's a topic which has been bugging our country for a long time. And I think we are now reaching a stage where we'll have to take a firm decision and do what is good for the country. First of all, I'd like to say that the issue is the phrase in the form of DMK versus the national language. Because almost everybody in the country, including Kerala, including Karnataka, including Maharashtra, they all are in favor of a common language which is interstate. That it doesn't mean that their original language has to be wiped out, not at all, which is the fear that DMK is constantly putting out, that this is a name to finish off Tamil. So I would like to first of all say that what is being sought is to create a united India where we can speak in a language in our state which is different from a common language with the center. Now, there are other countries which are doing this. In Canada, there are parts of the Canadian state which has French. But at the same time, when they deal with the central government, say the Montreal and these places in Canada, they will be dealing with the Union of or the Central Union of Canada in English. So what we are also trying to do is to have to see that can we make the different languages of Tamil and Kannada and all these languages, can we search for a commonality so that when we say that this is the that when we are putting across a common language which has been so far been called Hindi, I would prefer to call it a Sanskritized Hindi, because the Hindi which has Urdu words and all are very difficult for people of rest of India to assimilate it. So therefore, this Sanskritized Hindi should be in consonance with the various states. So when we look at that, we find that every language of a state has a very large number of Sanskrit, and even Tamil has at least 40% of its words in English, in Sanskrit. So I remember having once a friendly argument with Karunanidhi, and he said, no, we are a pure language, we have nothing to do with Sanskrit, and so on. Then told him, but your name is Karunanidhi, that's a Sanskrit name. He said, no, that my father gave me, it's not my fault. I said, all right, but your daughter-in-law, that is Stalin's wife, she's got Durga as her name. The son, I think, is called Uday Nidhi or something. That's also Sanskrit. Then I said, you tell your Chinnam, you call it. Chin is Sanskrit, and you say Chinnam. And then you say Udayan Suryan, that is Uday Surya, which is Sanskrit. So I found that about 40% of the Tamil language which commonly used in Tamil Nadu, they are taken from Sanskrit. So I would say that we will certainly one day have a common language which educated people will understand in all different states. Already Hindi with Sanskritized words has spread in North India completely, and it's you will find Bombay, nobody has problem with Hindi, or in Orissa, nobody has a problem with Hindi. So there are, except this one state, which is Tamil Nadu, which has made it a political thing, largely because the DMK was born as a kind of a separatist party, and the British egged them on. DK, for example, was totally paid for, financed by the British. So their idea was to separate Tamil Nadu when India becomes free and create a new country, an independent country, which of course the people of Tamil Nadu didn't agree. Muthuramalingam Thevar, Rajaji, and so on and so forth, all the great thinkers of that time who were either in Congress or with Subhash Bose or whatever. They took a firm stand, and that's how the separation of Tamil Nadu, which the British wanted, did not happen. So what I would like to say is, first of all, let us understand that a language consists of two parts. One is the words, the words that you pick, and the second is the alphabets that you use for communicating your ideas. Now here, I would say, take Tamil. You write ka like that, and in Sanskrit also you write like ka, almost like that. Then you say ki, you put a matra on top in Tamil. In Sanskrit also you put a matra on top. Ku also you put a matra in the bottom, and in Sanskrit also you do the same. So when you look at ka, in Tamil looks almost like as if it's a curve of Devanagari. Devanagari is the script of Sanskrit. So we find here that already, if you don't divide yourself, you find that it's very easy to go from, perhaps the most difficult script I think in India is Karnataka and the Andhra Pradesh, but they are people who are enthusiastically adopting Sanskrit. You can today go any part of Andhra or Telangana, you will see people speaking fluent Hindi. So therefore, I would say that this idea was because the British wanted the DMK to become an independent country. During the freedom struggle, they promoted them, they gave them money, they did a lot of things for them. And that, of course, after the independence, it all fizzled out. And but they continued to talk about their separateness and this targeting of Brahmins. There's no such thing as a born Brahmin, by the way. I would like to make it very clear to all these Brahmins who think this is a great privilege that they were born Brahmins. There's no such thing as born Brahmin. And that Lord Krishna says in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that it's a guna. So Jnani, Tyagi, Sahasi, if these kinds of gunas you have, then you are a Brahmin. And your father can be scheduled caste, your father can be, Vaniyar, whatever. All these things could have been so because they were following different profession. But if you went took up the profession of a Brahmin, then automatically you also qualify as a Brahmin. I personally feel now we have reached a stage of modernity where we should regard ourselves as only Indians and not have these breakdowns for a variety of reasons. Of course, for Jati, which is different from Varna. Varna is those four divisions. But Jati is that which depends on your blood. And that is because in your marriage, you don't want the blood in such a way that if the husband and wife, without this analysis of the blood situation, they marry, then their children will all be born dead, or they'll become will have certain degrees of problems and so on. So therefore, that science is different, and that's got nothing to do with the birth and your jati or whatever you want to call it. So what I am now to say is that time has now come to somehow deal firmly with the DMK. Please don't raise this issue. We are going to allow teaching of Sanskrit, and we are going to allow the teaching of Hindi, and we will believe that the Devanagari script should be learned along with the Tamil script, and we should try to see that people of South India can also go to North India without difficulty. They are going anyway, but the fact is that they feel greater difficulty because they haven't learned Hindi, whereas somebody from Bengal or from Gujarat, they have just no problem to go to all these well-knitted places where Hindi is used. So therefore, we have to have a struggle if necessary, dismissal of the DMK government if necessary, but in the end, we must say that the Constitution requires you to be to have a common language for dealing with interstate matters, and that is there in the Constitution, and we must implement it, and this is the way to work. Over to you, Jagdish.
Before I would like to hear Ramesh Swamy, who is originally from Tamil Nadu, his views on the matter.
Thank you, Jagdish. Can you hear me? Is my audio clear?
Go
Is
ahead.
my audio clear? I just want to check.
Yes,
Because,
yes.
okay. So, Dr. Swami, I agree with a lot of what you said. But my perspective, from being from Tamil Nadu, I know Hindi. I know 4 languages, 4 or 5 languages actually. I can understand Malayalam, I can understand Kannada passingly, somewhere or the other. My intent is just wherever I am in the world, rather, I should be able to adapt and adopt that particular local thing. So the ability to learn a language should be left to the individual person / student. That's one thing. That freedom to learn a language should exist, and an opportunity to learn should also be provided in schools. Number one. And the second is saying that we are imposing Hindi. There is also rank hypocrisy between DMK, be it the DMK, be it the so-called actor fraternity in Tamil Nadu. We're a bunch of hypocrites. For example, Dr. Swami, Stalin runs a school, Kanimozhi runs schools in Tamil Nadu where they teach Hindi. So if they're so against Hindi, why are they teaching that language in their schools? Okay, so if they're so, they should throw away. But they are adopting the CBSE curriculum. So the CBSE curriculum naturally has 3 languages, and so they have to adopt it, because if you're going to be a part of that system, then you have to adopt it. But they don't want to they don't want to run schools under the state board system, because now then it is not universal. So people don't want to join schools which only teach English and Tamil, right? So there is the rank hypocrisy among these politicians. They want the best for their children, and afford people who can affluent, who can afford to learn in these schools. But for the poor people, they don't want to be taught Hindi. Because why? Because, as you said, how does it matter? You offer that as an option, right? Let that person learn or not learn, and don't breed hatred just because it's a language. It is so sad that these politicians use a language which is a medium of communication. Let that person choose. If he feels, like, for example, Dr. Swami, a person who's studying in a corporation school in Tamil Nadu, if he joins the army, he's naturally got to learn Hindi. Otherwise, it is a disadvantage, right? What you said. If he wants to go outside and use his skills elsewhere. So give that student the opportunity whether to learn or not. That is one. And the so-called actors in Tamil industry are the worst parasites and leeches and hypocrites of the world. Number one, they want their films to be translated into dubbed in Hindi. They want to become a pan-India film. They want all the audience to watch their film and make money. But when it comes to language learning, these hypocrites just, oh no, only Tamil. There's one biggest hypocrite, the third-rate hypocrite that you can find is this guy called Kamal Hassan. The bottom sewer, I mean, even the lowest bottom sewer breeding rats or insects cannot come anywhere close to him. He's now got an MP seat and he's sitting in the parliament. That guy is saying only Tamil or English. But he's the biggest hypocrite. He was one of the earliest actors who said, no, I have to make my film. He made dedicated films in Hindi. So these kind of rank hypocrites who have no standing or locus standi to say things are saying about this language formula. It is so sad that using a language which is just a medium of, as I said, keep saying medium of communication, leave that choice to the people. Let them decide let the children or the parents decide what the child should learn or not. Why should the government impose anything? In that context, Dr. Swami, the NEP is definitely flawed. Saying that you won't get funding unless you introduce Hindi, again, is not a good thing to do by the center. That should have been abolished. Leave that as optional. So you want NEP, you want the 5,000 crores or some number is being floated around. What those numbers are is irrelevant. Annually, so much money is going to come. Don't impose anything, because the moment you start imposing things, you know what the reaction is. You keep it open. People are with an open mind will say, see the largest of the center, saying that they're giving us money, but they said, hey, please learn Hindi. It is good for you because pretty much 80% of the entire country is speaking it. So why don't you guys learn it? I'm giving you an opportunity to do so. Instead of approaching it that way, you're saying that unless you introduce Hindi as a language, we will not give you money, is again a horrible approach by the center. I mean, this is my stand on this, because you can't impose something and then expect people to adopt it, because DMK is being built on, DMK is a party of hate. They want to get hatred against Brahmins, hatred against Sanskrit, hatred against Sanatana Dharma, hatred against language, hatred against other people. Because, Dr. Swami, I am telling you, DMK today's hate, their hate today is this Tamil language. Tomorrow, Kaveri issue. Then they will hate Kannadigas. Then Mullai Periyar. Then they will hate Malayalis. Their only formula is hate others. And that is the only way they are surviving. Unfortunately, people are getting bought into this. Youngsters are getting influenced by this, saying that we will be imposed and you will have to learn Hindi tomorrow, which is actually not the case at all. The hysteria that this party has been spewing, the hate that this DMK has been spewing, including Stalin, is absolute rank hypocrisy. As you said, his son name is Udayanidhi Stalin. His wife's name is Durga. His grandchildren are all have Sanskritized names. Not even a single guy doesn't have a Sanskritized name. So why this hypocrisy? But all the other people, poor people, should have a Tamil name. Or even in fact, they've said that even having a Sanskrit name, you change that into something which is more in Tamil in nature, which is crazy. So language has to be left to the choice of the people and not being imposed. And I think that is good. Of all things, Dr. Swamy, if everybody says I'll speak 2 languages, 3, Kanimozhi is capable of speaking Hindi, English, and Tamil. Okay. Same way with a few other leaders, including this Dayanidhi Maran, he can speak very fluent Hindi. But when it comes to this, he acts like a hypocrite. If the Prime Minister can learn 3 languages, Dr. Swamy, I'd appreciate it, because he knows only 2 today. Gujarati and Hindi. So that's it, Jagdishji. That's my quick rundown of what I think.
Dr. Swamy, I just want to know, now that this issue is again hotting up in Tamil Nadu, how do you see in the next few weeks or months what will happen to this issue? Because a lot of sentiments, pro, against, and all that, as Rameshji has rightly said, the DMK hypocrite politicians, how they are fanning these anti-Hindi issues, and how, in Ramesh's words, he says it should not be imposed. But how do you think in the next few weeks or months this issue will go ahead in, especially in Tamil Nadu?
Well, before I give you a direct answer, let me go back when I was with Chandrasekhar's government as the senior most minister, and the LTT menace was there, and Karunanidhi was determined to give them all the facilities they wanted, including those the IPKF, our Indian soldiers whom they had made injured of the LTT fighting them. They used to come to Madras, and in Madras hospital they were being treated. So Chandrasekhar asked me whether I would go and speak to Karunanidhi about it. So I went to Bangalore, to Chennai, and I spoke to Karunanidhi, whom I knew personally very well. And I told him that, you can't do that. So he told me that, this is a sentiment of the Tamils. And if you try to block me, then there will be an uproar and Tamil Nadu will secede and all this. He told me. Well, I told him, I give you 24 hours. After that, if you don't stop this support for the LTT, I will have to recommend action to the government. Now, he didn't do anything for this 24 hours, so we then dismissed the government. And I must tell you that all that we know about Karunanidhi is he had another house in Oliver Road. He went and hid there. But there was not a single revolt. Nobody came out. And on the other hand, people were celebrating. So after that, elections were held, and Jayalalitha got most of the seats, and Karunanidhi, out of 234, got just 2 seats. Just 2 seats, because the public was so angry for his support of the LTT. The same way I'm telling you that if they were to openly come out and say we want to secede, they may come out and do a demonstration peacefully on Hindi, nobody will object. Everybody has a right to object. But the fact is that if you try to use violent methods to show that by bringing Hindi, you are going to cause a secession of Tamil Nadu, then I must tell you that there's no question. Everybody wants to learn Tamil, not only Tamil, but they want to learn Hindi also, because some of them go and do business. They live in Tamil Nadu, but they go to sell business, even selling idli powder. Even for that, the people leave Madras and go to Madurai, Maharashtra, and then on to Madhya Pradesh and so on to sell idli. Idli is very popular all over the country. So my view is the softness of the center is responsible for not being able to have the three-language formula imposed. Every other state is accepted. Only one state is not accepted. And that, in my opinion, there seems to be some angle which makes these leaders in Delhi get panicky. But I would say if the demand should now start growing, a movement should start actually in North India, saying that for telling the demanding that the government take action and see that there's a uniform language policy, which is three languages: mother tongue, Hindi, English, and Hindi. These three things have to be learned, and all schools must teach these three languages. That determination is all that is lacking.
Thank you, Dr. Swamy, for giving us an insight on what you think can happen in Tamil Nadu or how things would react and all that. But Dr. Swamy, one question. When the South is made and told that you'll have a three-language formula, some of the northern states, besides many of their mother tongue is perhaps Hindi and English, they don't have a third language. So in that case, what can be the thing? So the South feel that they have been made to bear this three language, while the North Indians are comfortable with the two languages only. What do you think about this?
No, Mulayam Singh many years ago had said that I will make Tamil compulsory in UP. If the Tamilians accept Hindi as a third language, then I will make Tamil as a third language in UP. So I don't think that anyone would object if you have three-language formula in the north using southern languages, whether it's Kannada or the Telugu or the Tamil or Malayalam. And people will be happy to learn it. I think there'll be no objections at all. So that is not a real, in my opinion, a serious thing. Those who want to find some excuse may have clutched at these straws, as they say, before they go under the river. And that kind of thing you have. But I would say that if there was a determined government that we are going to do it, you want to fight, we know how to put you in jail, and do that, you will see that there will be just no reaction at all. I'm, after all, a Tamil. Maybe I lived in North India, but that's because of my father's official position. I had to go to school in North India, but I have fought election from a constituency where the ADMK never could win. Even MGR used to say that Madurai, I'm sorry to say, ADMK cannot win. I stood at that time, and I won from Madurai, and I didn't have any big party, bodies and so on. But the people came. Offered the people, they came and they stood. Of course, after that, now you are finding people who from ADMK also are getting elected in Madurai. But up to 1996, 1998, when I first time, there was no other party which could win there except the communists or the ADMK, or the DMK. This is what was the position. So it's a question of going to the public and giving them conviction that you mean business. This is not just a election stunt on your part to say, oh, we will oppose Hindi, or we will bring Hindi. The stunt business turns the people off. But there is no ground level hatred, dislike, resistance for Hindi. And the DMK people are just doing this. Or you can always get 25 gundas and cause a riot in a road. But if you brought in the CRP and the BSF and the military for a few days in Madras, everything will cool down with or in Tamil Nadu will cool down. I've experienced this. That's what I'm telling you.
And Dr. Swamy, there have been a lot of youngsters, especially after these IT job opportunities, who after being posted in various other cities of India, especially some of them who are from Tamil Nadu or could be from other states, they feel that besides English, learning a Hindi is a big advantage. And some of them from Tamil Nadu who meet us always express this hope that if we had also learned Hindi earlier, it would have been a very big asset for us in communicating in North India or East India or West India, whichever part of India. And even when they go abroad, they have a sense of identity with maybe the Indian languages. They must be definitely proud of Tamil language, but even knowing Hindi is an advantage when they go abroad and they want to communicate sometime, not in English, but knowing Hindi becomes an advantage. My question to you, Dr. Swamy, is politically, I see you, who is an original Tamilian, because you had access and you knew Hindi, you could play a role in national politics. Why don't these Tamil Nadu or some of the South Indian leaders realize the potential of you coming to national level politics? It's definitely your intelligence and your approach to politics that also has contributed. But don't you think having learned Hindi and can speak fluently in Hindi, address public meetings in Hindi, you are one of the only perhaps South Indian leaders who is widely accepted all over the country. So our Tamil friends, without making an issue of it, even from the political parties who may be supporting the three-language formula in Tamil Nadu like BJP, don't you think it was a big advantage to you to have learned this language and can play a role in national politics? Why don't the Tamil leaders come out of this phobia that they too can rise and become national leaders and dominate the scene in future?
Absolutely right. And I agree that once in Tamil Nadu, the teaching of Hindi is made compulsory and starts taking place, you will find in a very short period, maybe in a period of 10 years, you will have Tamils, and Tamils have a long history which other states don't have. Tamil history, Tamil kingdoms, all this, it's much longer for Tamil Nadu than many of the other states. So therefore, it will automatically bring out people who will then be able to go to North India and be as acceptable as they would be acceptable in Tamil Nadu. I think it's harder it was harder for me, at least by the kind of things people told me, to penetrate the media and the intellectuals in Chennai or in Tamil Nadu, and in North, nobody ever raised. Once I was speaking in Hindi, no one ever said to me that you're not one of us, you are a Madrasi. Nothing of that kind was ever told to me. So nor I would have tolerated it. But within Tamil Nadu, none of these people can come and be national figures. They may have lots of money and all that, like Chidambaram has money, but nobody in the North India knows anything of him. Perhaps because he was finance minister, some businessmen may know him. But the fact is that because they are not able to speak in Hindi, they are not acceptable as national leader. And why should Tamil not be part of the national politics of the
Absolutely.
country?
Not even one, doctor, but for you,
Yes.
on the good side, and even the biggest crook did not learn. Even if he knew Hindi, he never wanted to speak in Hindi. Pakka chor. Swami Lion, you wanted to say something?
We are joined by Mr. T.K. Swaminathan, who's part of our Virat Hindustan Sangam team. And I would like, because he's based in Tamil Nadu, I would like him to comment on this today's topic. We can't hear you.
There's a Swami, correct, choose the right mic, or it must have been turned off. I can't hear you. So when you're back,
By the time he comes on the line,
Yeah.
Dr. Swami,
Yes.
could you tell us something? You did speak in the beginning on the topic of the Hindi and how some of the DK leaders and all that. Could you tell us, our viewers, something of the background of the pre-independence and post-independence power structure and struggle, which made some people spread such poison in the total politics of Tamil Nadu? Because Tamil Nadu has contributed a large number of freedom fighters for our struggle against the British. And even prior to that, when there were kingdoms, there were a lot of kingdoms. Marathas also ruled over South India and Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, especially Tamil Nadu. So tell us, viewers, a little bit of the background. By the time Mr. T.K. Swaminathan would also join and give his comments. Dr. Swami, a little bit of the pre-independence and post-independence poison that was sown in the people.
In the freedom struggle, there was no shortage. Muthuramangalinga Tevar is an example. And you would be surprised that after we came to power and the British ran away, the Congress party actually persecuted him because Jawaharlal Nehru passed word that this man will be a challenge, and Congress should not have any challenge in Tamil Nadu. And the man, unfortunately, after being in jail and so on, died. He came from a very well-to-do family, and he gave it all up. And he was a great thinker, writer, all that. And so, what has happened is in Tamil Nadu, the post-independence politics was really a kind of a slavish Congress body. Kamraj I know Kamraj, knew Kamraj. Kamraj has come when my father was in Delhi. Kamraj used to come and spend hours with us. And there are pictures, I think I may have shown it to you, of me as a little boy with Kamraj. So all these people used to come, but the overpowering of the Jawaharlal Nehru and the hatred for Sardar Patel, which is why so many of the leaders say they had to suffer and they had to lose their position. And what I would describe to you is that, number one, that the narrow-mindedness in India, in Tamil politics, started with Jawaharlal Nehru, and it was and he got people within India, within Tamil Nadu, to support him. And then there was already a brewing during the British time, a group of people who felt that the British thought that let us free India all over India. But as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, in fact, the governor has written a letter which is available in the archives in London, that as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, we think that we can continue to stay here. And in fact, the head of the DK He, on the 15th of August, when we were on 1947, when we had become free, he went to the governor's house, and there he begged him not to leave Tamil Nadu and continue to administer Tamil Nadu as part of the British Empire. So there was no challenge mooted against those who were were anti-national, or they wanted a separatist Tamil Nadu, and that is the fact that today is even going today. But I think now you can see the younger generation, which now goes all over the country for your computer work, or this work or that work, or financial analysis work, all that. So there is now amongst the younger population, educated population in Tamil Nadu, people are now speaking to me openly saying, can we not make Tamil Nadu also a player in the national politics of the country?
If our friend TK Swaminathan's mic is operational, can we have him? TK Swaminathan?
Can you hear me, Jagdishji?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. We just have this question. Why should Tamil is very rich in grammar, and it has got its shadow from Sanskrit. We are kind of speaking from a culturally rich heritage and language. But Hindi, as it stands now, is a mix of Urdu and kind of, you feel like you don't have much of grammar in the Hindi as it exists today. Therefore, it's kind of, if at all anybody is expected to speak a third language,
to have a common. I'm going to interrupt you here. You have been watching Hindi cinemas. That Hindi is not the Hindi we people speak. Today, the Hindi has a huge accumulation of Sanskrit words. So nobody will, you say, for instance, the RSS people, you will never catch them speaking Urdu anywhere. And nor will I be using Urdu words in my speeches.
Okay. Dr. Swamy, if there has to be a common language for all the states to interact, right, so that we all can speak in one language and think about it, why necessarily it has to be Hindi? Why can't it be a Sanskrit thing wherein all can put their efforts together and learn Sanskrit, including North India and South India put together, instead of Hindi? Hindi, as it stands, has got a lot of Mughal and invader influence, and it's not so grammar, and we don't have much of literature or poetic ideas or epics written in Hindi. It's all 2 or 3 standards are there, but it's not to the standard of Sanskrit or Tamil. The language is yet to be developed, but as it stands, why can't we all put our minds together and have a common language? It can be either English or Sanskrit, but why it necessarily has to be Hindi? Because we don't have much of literature available in Hindi for us to expand our knowledge.
No, but the percentage of people speaking in Hindi is the largest. It's probably 54% as of now.
Yeah. But so, they can also put some sweat and effort to learn Sanskrit for me, and we can also put our sweat and effort to learn.
I told you the vocabulary has to be from Sanskrit.
Yeah.
And it's happening. You have to come to North India. Maybe I'll take you to the RSS Karalai. You can converse there, and you'll find that there's not a single Urdu word they will be using in their Hindi. And in the modern day, all these schools that have been set up by the central government, there the Hindi taught is absolutely based on Sanskrit vocabulary. So one of the days when people spoke like Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru spoke Urduized Hindi, but not afterwards. Slowly, it has been changing. So I think maybe one of these days you come to Delhi, I will take you to some Jhopalpatti or slum area and make you speak in Hindi to them. And you'll find that they also will be hardly using any Urdu words. Times have changed.
Okay. And one thing with respect to this 3-language policy, it's kind of restricting us to India, but we can expand it to world. Why can't English also be made a common language across the world? Because it serves more of an universal purpose for us to travel around across outside of India as well.
English is, no one is stopping anyone from learning English. And they will learn because America speaks English. And English is understood in most of Europe. So I don't see any difficulty. The question of introducing Sanskritized Hindi is because there is resistance to it. People learn English because they want to go abroad. People learn their mother tongue because that's how they're born. So they think that two languages are enough. We say no. We need one more language which unites us. I can go to any time. I can go from Madras to Andhra Pradesh. I can from Andhra Pradesh go to Assam, and I should be able to speak a language with the people there understand it. So if they have also been brought up in Sanskritized Hindi, and we come and speak to them, the communication is complete.
No, Doctor, I agree, Dr. Swamy. I think Sanskritized Hindi is what we need, right? We don't want Urduized Hindi, number one. Okay. And Dr. Swamy, even in Tamil Nadu, there are schools that are conducted by by all these Muslim institutions. They teach Urdu there, right? So at the end of the day, leave the choice of learning. You just say, okay, you need 3 languages. You choose whatever language you want to do. But if saying that Hindi is the 3rd language is where I have an issue with Dr. Swamy. That is where I'm having an issue. I mean, leave the choice to them. No, you give them 3 choices, Dr. Swamy. You let them elect what they want to learn. Why is that?
There has to be one Indian language which is understood in every part of India. You can't just say learn any 3.
No, let them learn English.
No, English is cannot be a language for interaction with the rest of India. They ruled this country, looted this country. We can't have their language.
But the Constitution says that, no, Dr. Swamy.
I'm sorry, on that we have disagreement.
Okay.
Dr. Swamy, I have a question. Many of the viewers are asking me in the chat here with us. They say Karunanidhi was not a Tamilian. Can you tell our viewers what is this secret? Why is he not considered to be a Tamilian?
See, I had a direct talk with Karunanidhi on this. He told me that he was born and brought up in Tamil Nadu, but his father, who was a great in the temple, his father used to go in the temple and do that whatever that instrument for music. Yes, that's right, Nageswaram. So he said my father came from Karnataka, but what he hid from me is that even today, until he lived, he spoke to Karnataka had, I think, 3 wives. He spoke to them in Telugu only, and even Kanimori speaks has been speaking earlier in Telugu. So there's nothing wrong with Telugu. There was an empire of Telugus in Tamil Nadu, and that was in Madurai. And that king was a very effective king, and he ruled for a long time. So the Tamils and the Telugus, there's no difference at all. And but a common Indian language which every state must learn and every person of language, Indian language, should learn is Sanskritized Hindi. All words should be drawn from Sanskrit. See, the advantage of Sanskrit is every word has 20 other words. Urdu doesn't have that word. If I say, in a particular language, if I use certain words, then from that I can derive many other words. And this you can't do it in Urdu. Urdu is in that way. You have each word has to be separately memorized. You can't draw it from knowing one word and then having many other words arising from that.
Purushottam from Madurai, he wants to know that
Yes.
why Tamil Nadu people are not producing Tamil leaders to govern the state. He says even MGR was a Keralite, and I want to know from you whether this is true.
Well, Karunanidhi was Telugu, and therefore all these people, they may have lived in Tamil Nadu. His son Stalin, he is Telugu. Then from
MGR.
I think the only Tamil big known leader, I think, was Jayalalitha. She I think was pure Tamil.
Jayalalitha is from Karnataka, Dr. Swami.
No,
Mother is Pushpavali
no,
in Karnataka.
mother was
Mandya.
serving in the Mysore Raja's
Mysore
place.
Raja. Yeah.
But she was
The two Tamils,
pure
Kamaraj, Dr. Swami. Kamaraj and Rajaji.
Kamaraj is definitely 100% Tamil, and then Rajaji, of course, 100% Tamil. So the issue is not you can be of any other state, but then you must become Tamil speaking, and you should be able to interact with the Tamilians in their cultural matters. That's all that matters. Otherwise, on DNA test, all Indians have the same DNA. The British tried to make Aryan, Dravidian, all this nonsense. And now the science has proved that our DNA is for the whole of India is the same.
Okay.
Swaminathan or Ramesh, do you have any further questions?
That's it, Dr. Jagdish. We can conclude today.
Okay. Thank you, viewers, for that support for our program today. And Dr. Swami's and Ramesh Swami's and TK Swaminathan's views on this delicate subject, which is creating a lot of issues in Tamil Nadu. And we thank Dr. Swami for giving out his views, which have always been a nationalistic views, and it has been consistent since the last 50 years, especially on a subject like this. So we thank our technical team led by Ashish Shetty, Gadgi Rakesh, Tejas Navalgul, TK Swaminathan, Mr. Ajesh Nair, and our friend Mr. Ishwar Iyer for their monthly, weekly, and daily inputs that makes this program a very lively program for Virat Hindustan Sangam. We will be back next Sunday with another interesting topic for discussion. I once again thank our viewers and request our viewers to please subscribe to the Virat Hindustan Sangam channel on YouTube, and we are simultaneously on various social media channels. So once again, thank you, viewers. Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Vanakkam.